with your hands palm up and just let the energy wash over you and through you.
Hey guys, how you doing? And yeah, welcome to the demo drop. Get your music heard. How you all doing? What have you all been up to? You been behaving? I hope so. You better not be letting the side down. So yeah, welcome guys. If you've not been here before, then welcome to the demo drop. We do this every Tuesday, where we will listen to your music. If you are an aspiring or established music producery type person, if you're making beats, send them in. Hi, Fifi. I just need to get this off my other monitor. Hang on. Okay. So, let's dive right in. Welcome, Pertmeister. I'm just going to check my levels quickly. I think I might be, because I don't want to be like this in the mic. I don't want to be doing that. I'm going to try and sit upright a little bit more. So, there we go. No misbehaving, says Wayne. Just me then. Hi, guys. My levels. So, yeah, good to see you all. We'll get cracking on. So, first up, I love the name of this one. Now, this is by Timmy Coop, and it's called Moa Hoa. I know, right? Here we go.
Gentlemen, always remember, if she can push a pushchair, she can also push a mower. Stay woke, boys.
Naughty bastard.
I really, really like that. Timmy, I have spelt your name incorrectly. I've just realised there's no E. There we go. Timmy Coop. May really, really like this. Like, I am kind of, and I know this about myself, that I get quite torn with things that are unnatural to my discipline of being a classically trained pianist, because there were things in there that didn't necessarily, they weren't in key with each other, but I know better than to just discard that as being wrong. And I know that in hard house, in hard dance, it can actually add a lot of character to a track, to not follow, you know, music theory to the letter, you know. So although it irked me in those kind of ways, it wasn't like in an obvious way. It was actually probably more that it's remarkable, and I will remember that aspect of it. So yeah, really, really liked it. Guys, if you can please give Timmy Coop a follow on SoundCloud. Excuse me. Then that would be really nice. If you like what he's doing there, go and give him a follow. There you go. It is really warm today. Thank you, Padge. Thank you for saying that. I get in trouble a lot of the time for burping. I don't know that I'm doing it. I do apologise to anyone that is offended by burps. Yeah. But yeah, it's just natural, isn't it? You can moan when I start farting in your face. I wouldn't do that. I would never do that. Usually. Promise-ish. Do you know, I could make some money doing that, couldn't I? People do pay for that, Timmy. Exactly. Shall we take it to the vote? Shall we see what the people want? I could start selling farts in jars, burps in bottles, see where it takes us. You never know. It could take off. I do know this, though. There was a girl who was selling her farts in jars and shipping them out at like £1 a pop. And she ended up in hospital. Legit. She ended up in hospital for farting too much. So, you know, I'm just saying, you've got to be careful. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to get greedy. Who's buying farts in jars? That's what I want to know. Who are you? Yeah, pace yourself. I mean, come on. You could just get someone else to do it for the day, couldn't you? I mean, fair play to her for being authentically the one farting. But you know what? No one would know. Who's buying that stuff? I don't know. Moving on. Next up, we've got Podge, and this is In Bits. I think you'll recognise where this comes from. I really, really like this rework. Well, guys, that is Padge in bits. And yeah, I think I can see from the chat how much everyone really liked that one. I will say, and this is definitely just a personal preference. I know that you said that you've made it slower. That's fine. And in actuality, by doing that, people can just speed it up to Shran's sort of, 155, 150. Or of course, I could play it, and it could be accessible to the peak time techno lot, the Beatport crew. But for me personally, I would have had this at Shran's tempos. But I can see why you'd have it like this kind of hard groove kind of tempo area. It's not even a big thing. It's not even a big thing. In fact, just thinking of it through in that way now, it's probably more accessible being at this speed, because I know that I can speed that up and stick it in hard techno and Shran sets, not a problem. But yeah, I was expecting it to be faster. That's it. But I think what you've done here is probably a good thing, because it will make it more accessible. The other thing I'd say, it is 7 minutes 12 long. I think it needs to be a little bit shorter. And I think you need to drop out the breakdown at 5 minutes and 30 seconds in. There's a breakdown. I don't know if it's the second or if it's the third. I think it might be the third, but there's quite a few like small breakdowns within this where you're dropping out the kicks and stuff. And I feel that actually helps build it, in that kind of like building and building up the tension and giving it moments all the way through it. But on that last one there at 5 minutes 30, I just felt that it needed to carry on through then to the mix out for the DJ, which is around about keeping it rocking from around about, I think it's I've written down here 5 minutes 52 seconds. So just take out that last breakdown, I would, because I was expecting to be able to mix out at that point. So there you go. That's all I would say, and that comes from my DJ mentality. I know what it's like when we're doing our own projects and we've got the arrangement in front of us, and you know we've got it all out, and we're like, oh yeah, but I like that bit now. And it's really difficult to like take sections out of stuff that we've spent a bit of time on in automation and you know all of that. But from a DJing perspective, I'd say whittle that down a little bit and take that last breakdown out because it's not needed. So, but I loved it. I fucking loved that tune. I love the tune and I love your rework of it. So thank you so much, mate. And guys, please go and follow Padge. Thank you. I loved your picture on the SoundCloud as well. Yes. Really, really good, mate. Well done. Okay, next up we have got John Holland, and this is called Letters. There we go, guys. That is John Holland and Letters. So, quite a lot of divide on this one in the chat. I mean, production-wise, like, as in the spectral analysis of this, like frequency range-wise, it's very nicely spaced out. Everything's got its rightful place. Nice kick and bass. Sounds very glued together. I don't necessarily mind the detuning on that main synth line. I also felt that it sounded like there was a bit of a timing issue, maybe related to panning. I think someone mentioned of percussion. I didn't notice much panning personally, but I did notice that things sounded not necessarily as tight as I'd like it if I was mixing this track, for example. It depends where we're coming from. I've got a feeling that John is not a DJ and is more predominantly a producer because of the arrangement for one, and not picking up on those kind of things as well can sometimes be down to not thinking about having to mixing it with, other tracks. Sometimes it can be good when the quantization is out though, can't it? I'm going to say your name wrong now, aren't I? Q3Bic Music Island, because when we're so hard quantized to the grid, we have no room for our transients. So, that can we can see that sometimes when we get like pre-shifted claps and, snares and things like that we get in sample packs, or we do it ourselves. It makes a lot of difference to shift things away from the snapped grid aspect of, when we're working on anything. Cubico. You've flummoxed me now. Cubico music. I can't say it. Why can't people have normal names on Twitch? Because I know I'm being screened for dyslexia, so I know a bit of it's that, but I find it really hard. But I think I overthink it as well. Fuck's sake, what are you doing to me? I feel really bad. I do. When I don't get people's names right. But yeah, I think just tidying that up a little bit in regards to a little less detuning and a little more reining in of the areas around, quantization. What do they call it in jazz? They call it being in the pocket. And that means it's like there's a certain sweet spot. And then once you're out of that sweet spot, it can start to sound messy. So that could be an area to look at. My thoughts, which I've written down, are, like I said, the riff is memorable. And I like the counter melody line in the breakdown. So, like, even by third time round, I was going... Like, I can hear it still. And that's a good sign, which means you've got a good, solid riff hook going on there. That's brilliant. Now, what happens then in the breakdown is there is this really cool, almost like a bridge counter melody that comes in. But then when you come back to the drop, you don't go back to the as I was expecting. What happened was the counter melody carried on and went even more out on a tangent. And that is the point where you will lose your listener, because dance music all revolves around repetition, mantra, repetitive melodies and hooks, and that requires reining in of, having too elaborate melodies in our music. So that was the point where I felt it had just gone a bit too far in terms of the realms of like tangents and for this music, like this is the thing with dance music, structurally, arrangement wise, stylistically, there are a lot of specific rules to do it effectively. Just as there are rules with music theory, writing sentences, spelling of words. There's things that we're all used to, and there's things that make sense to us on a very subconscious level that we're used to. And that also in turn relates to dance music. So although like you've got some of the harder aspects completely good here and correct, John, in terms of the mix down, sound selections, arrangement to a good degree, all you actually do need to do here is just rein it back in again. So that's a good problem to have. So yeah, and I like the fact that you didn't put in a vocal or feel the need to stick a vocal over this, because that riff is a good riff. And a lot of the time what we can end up doing is if we don't really know what we want to do with a riff or melodies, we're like, a bit scared, or we're not too, clued up on music theory, we stick a vocal over the top of it and it kind of takes the attention away from those aspects. So I'm glad to see that you didn't do that. Yeah, really liked it. Well done, mate. And I hope that was helpful. Madda, I'm not sure if I have seen an email from you. If you haven't had an email back from me, then I haven't seen it. It'll be next week, darling. Unless it was last week that we did that one, or the week before. I think I've seen something from you too, but I can't remember now. Thank you to Lolly44447 for following. And also DXD for 24 months now, 2 years. How are you doing, mate? Oh, you sent it today. Oh, okay, I've not seen it yet then, darling, so it'll be next week. No worries, and I will keep an eye out for it as well. So yeah, next one. We've got... Oh my God, this one. Okay, we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, and I was really interested to know what it was. I think this is Bouncing Forces who've sent me this one in, but it's under the name Pension Seekers. So it's called Pension Seekers Pervert.
I am a pervert. Mistress Louise, I am a pervert. I love to be dominated by beautiful women like yourself. My favourite is to pay a woman to pull my nipples hard while I wank myself off, or for her to grab my balls and squeeze them until I give her more money. I would love to know what you would do to me if I walked into a room naked and you were in there with your friends. Please contact me if I'm worth it.
Dear sexy Charmaine, you really turned me on wild, really wild. And you very beautiful sexy body and your gorgeous and sexy big boob and rising nipple. And sexy pussy and beautiful sexy bum and sexy leg. And I fuck you and you fuck me and we fuck all night and we fuck all day and my big rising willy.
am a man who needs a good wanking.
May I have your attention, please?
My darling Teresa, here are 10 things I would love to do. 1. Sit on the edge of the bath playing with my cock while I watch you sitting on the pan having a shite with your skirt up around your waist and your tights and panties around your ankles. 2. Watch you having dirty sex with Carol Smiley and Carol Vorderman at the same time. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Lick your lovely ass crack and suck your gorgeous asshole really, really hard.
I am a man who needs a good wanking. I am a
Darling, spunky Louisa, just squeeze your tits against my body and your cunt. I will squeeze your bum and give it a gentle slap. I am all ready for you. My prick is semi-stiff. You would take him in your mouth and work him big, hard and thick, while I lick your cunt and bum hole, and your big tits and your spunky cunt all the way. Hold on, I'm just about to unload my spunk. I can't hold it in any longer. My spunk is flying all over the place now. I know you love me when I'm dirty and rude. You wouldn't like me otherwise, would you? I am a filthy cunt, aren't I?
I am a man who needs a good wanking. I am a pervert.
May I have your attention, please?
Oh my good God. I can't play it on my radio show, Red Misty. I'm not allowed to swear on my radio show. I would love the full version of that though. Yeah, the fades in and out guys were from. This is taken from the Soundcloud. You can buy this track now as well, guys. So if you follow the link that I gave you, and also I'll give you the link directly to this track as well. If you want to get it, there you go. Yeah, I loved it. Amazing. I hadn't listened to it all the way through. I just heard the beginning. I was like, yeah, we'll play that. But it just got progressively worse. As in, like, more. It was a lot. Oh my God. Loved it. I was just thinking about the TikToks that I could do with that, but my children see my TikTok, so I'm not going to be able to use it on TikTok, but I hope one of you lot will. Oh, Richie, exactly. Can you imagine me playing that at Rave Kids? No. But yeah, I really, really liked it. Thanks, darling. Okay, next. Oh my God. I'm changing these round because I need to like coax this back down to like, you know, some sort of normality again. By what I mean by that is we need to have something along the same lines as that one, and that will be People Like Us. So next up we've got People Like Us. You guys know how much I love People Like Us is stuff, and this one's called Fireman Sandman.
Sam is there on time, putting on his coat and hat in less than 7 seconds flat. He's always on the scene, Fireman Sam, and his engine's bright and clean. Fireman Sam, you cannot ignore. Sam is the hero next door. Sam is the hero next door. Sam is the hero next door. Sam is the hero next door.
Oh, even that percussion there, right? If there's one thing that's really changed about me since doing the demo drop, it's been my ability to appreciate music other than what I would play in a DJ set. Like, I completely understand now, and also this is from my productional journey as well, is the complete appreciation that I have for anyone that does something like different and, you know, just for the love of doing it. I find that so inspiring. Hi, Rennie. You know, like, I would find it difficult put that in a set. But this is kind of like music that I want to listen to, you know, for me. And yeah, I'm just so in awe of you guys, you know, who send in your music week in and week out. I'm so appreciative because it really broadens your own ability as a musician, as a producer, and it stops us from being limited in what we think is a good idea. Because the thing is, a lot of us could have an idea for a track and we could think, oh, Fireman Sam, yeah, what about putting that in a track? And it's usually under the condition of being at an after party on the sesh, a little silly idea. And then what happens is self-doubt will creep in. And you'll be, oh, no, but that sounds silly, won't it? You know, but I love the creative freedom that people like us has. And a lot of others in here as well who are so free from that limitation and that hesitance. I myself, the reason why I appreciate it and I pick up on this is because I personally suffer a lot with creative blocks. Really, like, severely, I do. I mean, occasionally I can get myself out of them, but I appreciate people who are creatively free. There are areas where I am creatively free, and that is when I'm doing silly songs, anything to do with my DJing and, you know, setting up the graphics and things like that. But an area which I feel quite vulnerable in is an area where I find it very difficult to express myself very freely, and that for me is definitely within dance music. So yeah, I know, like Drew Clute, this is a it's a long-term thing with me. It's something I've been aware of for many years, but about me personally as a producer and as an artist, but I found the words for it recently. I actually wrote an email to one of my mentors, Adam Ellis, who has been teaching me for nearly 2 years on trance and helping me with aspects of making trance. And he said to me, you know, there's nothing more that I can teach you in terms of, you know, the technical stuff and, you know, the ins and outs of, and I can do things by the letter. If you tell me how to do something, I'll do it the way that you show me how to do it. My main issue as an artist, I'm sure there's some of you in here that can relate as well, is the ability to find to be strong enough to show my vulnerability within my music, and that means expressing myself in an authentic way. So I find it easier to stick to the rules, do things that are expected of me, and any of my really outlandish ideas I've kind of like started and then put on the back burner, or haven't finished, or haven't released them, haven't let anyone hear it. And so yeah, Drew Clute, you're right about jamming it live. That is an area where I think I could get out of this stop starting. I think you're completely correct in that, because when you're doing jamming, it's quite kind of in the moment, and I definitely am one of those kind of hands-on people. Like, I do get a lot of enjoyment from using my hardware. I find it less enjoyable when I start to critique things and, you know, make difficult decisions to take things out, and you know, at that point I'm just like, I get quite it becomes less fun for me, and when it becomes less fun I can't, you know, finish things. But yeah, as a musician, drummer and guitar player, you need to listen to a broad variety of music to progress and better yourself. Absolutely. We will have a chat, Drew Clute, and when we do, you can tell me how to pronounce your name properly as well. Oh my goodness! Speak of the devil. People Like Us has resubscribed for now 15 months. Oh my goodness. And Stomp D&B, thank you for following as well. People Like Us, we've just listened to your tune. Start making stuff in the Dorian style. Stuff, technically, like, if that's helpful for you, then good. That probably won't mean a lot to some people, though. But if it means something to you, then that's cool. So Dorian, for anyone that's unaware, is a scale. A lot of dance music's in Dorian. Pentatonic sometimes. Phrygian, if it's techno a lot of the time. Aeolian. But see, that's the kind of limitation that for me might not be so helpful, because I'm very much in my head when it comes to making music. I get really technical and I've stopped enjoying it. It's so annoying. But yeah, and a lot of that I think has come from the fact that I have a long history with being, you know, in this career choice for 21 years. Ryan says, do you think that production is the only way to becoming a successful DJ? Oh wow, what a can of worms to open on me, Ryan. Thank you, Stomp. Ryan, why'd you have to play me like this? Oh, shit. Okay. I'm going to leave this really brief because it's such a very interesting topic. And one that I'll very happily chat about maybe afterwards, or if you catch me when I'm doing my WikiWar, and usually have a bit of a rant about this, but do I think that production is the only way to becoming a successful DJ? I don't think it should be, no. Because what's happening? There is a lot of substandard music out there based upon the fact that people are now using music production as a means to an end of becoming a famous DJ. I think personally that it is what hell. Fuck. It shouldn't be that way, no, but it is. There are a lot of serious producers out there that can't DJ. Yes, I honestly believe that you are going to be better at one or the other. If you're more production minded and you get it, you know, it all depends on the person, because something that I've realized about producers and artists and DJs is a lot of people are in it for very different reasons. If this is something that you can't live without, if producing music, if making music is an expression and an extension of you as a person, if you're suppressed in your ability to show your emotions, and creating something beautiful like music or poetry or art is your way of staying sane, then you'll never have to worry about any of those things. But if your primary reason and goal is to become a DJ because you think that it's going to make girls do fellatio on your penis, then probably please stay the fuck away from music production. There we go. And stop lying when you keep pretending that it's you that's making your own music, all right? We know. We know. And we all talk about it behind your back. Moving on. Okay, next up we've got Rome's. And this is called One Night in a Tunnel. Wow. Rome's One Night in a Tunnel. I love your little strapline as well that you've got, which is Rome's wasn't built in a day. And I think that's really stands, it's testament kind of to what I was just saying before about, if you're going to be making music, do it for integral reasons, not as a means to an end. And then on the outro of that as well, I was particularly paying attention to your spatial effects, and your little the panning, some kind of like granulizer effect you use in there. It just sounds so well put together. So well put together. Really, really like listening to that. So yeah, guys, please go and give Rome's a follow. Love the vocal as well. Hello, DJ Pineapple Pizza. How you doing? I hope that is a real DJ name. Because if it is, then that's the best DJ name I've ever heard. No worries, Rome's. Honestly, it's nice to have some D&B on this show. We do get a lot of bounce, we get a lot of hard house, hard dance kind of stuff. But, it is open to all genres. And drum and bass is one of those genres which is not an easy genre to make. Who would like a free track making via Zoom? Full tutorial as part of the course I did with Matt Clarkson has pushed me to do several tracks for free to get mind in gear for more engineering. Ooh, that's a good way of doing it. Guys, there you go. You've got a chance there to make a free track with Madda. I play quite a lot of his music. Your noise is brilliant, Drew. Doctor. I actually played a prank set in a Norwegian bar with a DJ booth disguised as rings of pineapples. Pics or it didn't happen. Please join my Discord and add the pictures to there promptly. I need to see this for myself. Amazing. And yeah, Rome's, thank you so much. So next up we've got a remix of a classic by Robert Miles, Children. It's not signed. Huh? Do you know what though, Rome's? Before we move on, we are living in a different time now, and if you want to keep complete control over your music, don't rely on record labels anymore. Get yourself on DistroKid. Get yourself set up on Bandcamp. Keep all of your money. And listen, I'm a record label owner. I run 4 record labels, small independent ones. However, morally, I have to say to you, you can do this on your own now. You don't need a record label. Unless it's something that you want to tick off, your goals and stuff as a producer. Absolutely. Oh, Rennie. Yeah, send it in. I still don't know how to say your name properly. Cubic. I'm going to say Cubic Music right now. Yeah, Rome's maybe consider doing that, and self-releasing. But if it is something that you want to, achieve as a goal, getting it on like Hospital Records or something like that. But it's a difficult one, isn't it? But, you can always make more music. I would start getting yourself set up on Bandcamp if I were you. You have complete control then. And also, please, if you're not already, get registered with PRS Performing Rights Society, and make sure that you can get your publishing there, and especially if you've been on BBC Introducing, anything like that, it's important to protect yourself and your works and be paid for it. Okay, cool. So next up we've got Pete Maxwell's remix of Robert Miles and Children. There we go. That is Robert Miles' Children, and that is the Pete Maxwell remix of that. Can I just say, massive thank you there for the raid to Neo-0X or Xerox. Thank you. Guys, please get following Neo- right now. Thank you for bringing your community over. This is the demo drop. So every Tuesday we do this show called the demo drop, where we listen to up and coming and some established producers' music, and we all sit here and we give each other advice, we follow each other on socials, and yeah, that's what we do. So yeah, welcome guys. Pete, a few things that I have picked up on. I think there's a bit of an issue on the bass. It's sounding a little bit boxy, so it might be helpful to go back in and I don't know, maybe look at, I don't know how you've made it, but if it's a synth, then maybe just check if retrigger is on, if it might need a bit more shaping. It might just need a little bit of some frequency that's sticking out a bit, pull back a bit, or it could just be something as simple as like a volume amendment, something like that. But something about the bass sounds just a bit knocky. So it could be down to the where it is on like on this scale as well. Some keys work better in some tracks work better in different keys, for example. But yeah, that was sticking out to me a little bit. That it was making it feel a little bit off. It's probably something that it's quite an easy thing to fix though. Some more effects maybe in the breakdown leading up into the drop. I felt like, even though I liked the surprise of what you were trying to achieve on that bit onto the lead up before the drop, and it was a nice change of pace, it got a little bit lost, and it could have done with some more clues. So like a snare roll in there, like a trauma string, you know, building up the tension. Yes, more tension. Exactly. Just leading into it. Hello, Alan. Oh, modern Anunnaki. Anunnaki. How are you doing, my love? Thank you for joining us. I do like it when alien races come and check out the stream. And I can't say mine. I know. Well, I know about the Anunnaki. I mean, come on. Oh. Yeah, but your name says, to me, it says Q3 Bic O Music Island. I'm reading it as it's written. Okay. But yeah, that's all I'd say, is it is mostly there, and I really dig the sounds that you're using, the way things were on after the drop, like and like I think you the improvement is vast from what you've sent me in the past. That rhymed. Yes, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. But yeah, keep it up, mate. Keep it up, because you are going places, god damn it. I didn't know it, Alan. I'd said it before I realised that it rhymed. And then I was like, oh yeah. You know, like when you say something that's funny and you didn't mean to, and then everyone's like, oh my god, and you're like, oh my god, maybe I should do stand-up. So, no, it was a one-off. I'm not a very good poet. You're welcome, Pete. And I know it. I'm a self-aware shit poet. Check me out. Ooh, you're odd. Okay, next up we've got Tony Perkins, and this is Shake What.
Shake what your mama gave you. Shake what your mama gave you. Shake what your mama gave you. Shake. Shake what your mama gave you. Shake what your mama gave you. Shake what your mama gave you.
There we go. Tony Perkins, Shake That. Really, really like this one. I liked the little surprise there of the the child's version of saying shake what your mama gave you. I like that a lot. I thought that was a really nice touch because it wasn't expected. And it's like the whole, you know, same but different, keeping someone's interest. So we were expecting that vocal to come in at some point, but not differently in the way that it was. So good music rewards listening. Is it your daughter? Oh, I was hoping that you'd say it was something like personal to you. It's good when we put something personal like that into our music because it makes us, one, more likely to finish it, and two, care about it more, put more effort in. I love that. Yay! But yeah, I really like it. Really good use of spatial effects in there. It's minimal, but in a sense of like minimal and progressive, but not boring. And it was nice to listen to. So yeah, nice one, babe. Thank you so much for sending it in. I've loved seeing your stuff improve, and you know where you're getting to now in terms of your career and stuff. I think it's very inspiring. Next up, something very, very different. This is DDK. Just another acid jam too, and that is Dr. Droog Kloot, who's in the chat. Watch your bass bins, I'm telling you. Here we go. Oh, by the way, it's 10 minutes long, so I'm going to have to like just get like a section of it. Okay, so we're going to play from the beginning to around about 5 or 6 minutes. go, guys. DDK, just another acid jam 2. There's no words, really. Like, it's so organic. It's very you. And as I was saying before, at near the beginning of the show, I have nothing but ultimate respect for people who are just creatively free, do their thing. Because within that level of confidence, that like will show through your music. It's just so fun to do a jam, mate. I can only imagine. But like, I guess for me, like, that's why I enjoy getting my TD3 going when I'm doing my DJ sets. Obviously I've got some hardware here. I've got my Minotaur in front of me. I've got a Access TI Snow. It doesn't get used as much as it should do because I have a VST now, which is pretty much an emulation of it. But going back to what we were saying about being creative and getting through our creative blocks, sometimes jamming is a really good way to do that. Just have it recording all the time and see where it takes you. And I think it's amazing that you managed to whittle what you got down to 10 minutes. Because I would quite happily jam like that for like at least 4 hours. Yeah, well, the reason why I always play my TD3 dry without any effect is because, unfortunately, the way that I've got it rigged up, it's going through a MIDI DIN, and that MIDI DIN works off the internal MIDI clock for my mixer. So the problem with being able to use any of the effects the way that I have it routed at the moment is because as soon as I put it onto the channel which my TD3 is running on to use those effects, it forgets the tempo that the CDJs are running on. For example, on the mixer, I'll have to have the beat effects or beat measured effects assigned to the CDJ which is playing at that moment, and then what will happen is the mixer will detect what the tempo is and it tells the TD3 to play what tempo to play at. And it's not exact either because I don't use sync and I don't use quantize, so you have to kind of knock it into place and keep it going, and that is one of the downfalls of what I do. The one thing I can do when I do take out the TD3 is I can very quickly like put it onto the channel for the TD3 and quickly use like a delay in order to like fade it out, if you will. But yeah, that is one of the unfortunate limitations that I have, because I've not seen anyone else use a TD3 in a DJ setup. So, you know, I just went off, I wonder if I could do it, and then I managed to do it, and that's just the way that it's set up. I could use a pedal effects device or something, like a Behringer virtualizer. Maybe. I'm not sure. I think I could route it up differently. One thing I could possibly do is set up an external MIDI clock. I'll have a look into it. I'm not going to say no because you might be onto something there, and I've not even looked at any pedal effects. It might be an idea. Put it in the sound path. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to look into that. But yeah, I would like to be able to use it a bit more smoothly. So yeah. Well, thank you for that. If you've got any links to this effects pedal, send it me. And I'll go and have a look. But yeah, like I said, I've literally set it up through, I wonder if I can do this. And then I managed to do it, and it works pretty well. I will be doing a tutorial on that as well, guys. I have filmed it all. I've just got to edit it all now and get it up. So yeah, but back to your tune, Dr. Drew Clute. Again, I love your old school mentality with your music, and I really enjoyed listening to it. Keep them coming. Hello to Jamie. Jamie! Yes. Drew Clute, you're completely right. You are completely right. And that's what I would like to do. The next thing I'm doing with my uni course for my 3rd year at uni is I am doing I've selected the module of live performance. So doing live performance, not DJing, but it's very similar probably to what you do. So I think those kind of FX devices are going to become more like something that I'm going to have to start cluing myself up with now. So, oh, well, welcome, Jamie. I probably do remember you if I saw you. But it's really difficult for me to remember people because of names and like my brain not being very good. What's HQ? Where's HQ? I don't know HQ. I don't know what that means. Tidy. I don't know. I don't know, mate. I probably have seen you though, and welcome. I know HQ means headquarters, but I don't know what that means. Oh, you mean like in Leeds? I don't know. Sorry, but I don't know. Was I there? Or have you just played on there? I played at HQ. I don't know. Oh, I wasn't. So, okay. Okay, cool. Welcome. How am I going to know that if I wasn't there, though? Oh, my God. Sorry, Jamie. Yes, Padge's track is amazing. I thought he did a really good take on that old classic. And it is a classic. I've heard tech house remixes of that. I've heard we've got the hard house version of it. So to have something in like the hard techno Schranz range, really, really cool. And it's the age old proverb of a good idea is a good idea. So I think we should be always remixing bits and pieces. It's brilliant. So yeah, Drew Clute, thank you very much for that one. Loved it. Thank you for all of the follows. Big thank you to Hard Tactic. I'm going to assume that a 3 is a tactic. Hard Tactic. DJ Small Paul. Jamie. And Mike Formers. Thank you very much for following, guys. Next up, we've got I'm going to do the Overseer next. And this is called Creation. Yeah, Jamie and his magic torch. Oh no, that sounds so rude. Oh God, it's disgusting, isn't it?
saying that there is no God. Are you saying that there is no God?
Certainly, I'm saying that there is no creator. Creation itself is enough unto itself. It needs no outside agency. You accept principally that something can be there without being created. If you accept their reasoning, then the question arises, who created the gods?
So creation itself then is God. We are God. You're God. I'm God. Everybody here is God.
Gaz Overseer. May, again, I play a lot of your hard trance and I love this tune. I think it's got some proper moments in it. Really nice, tough, relentless. Everything that you want from European hard trance. I have nothing to add in terms of like any feedback other than I would play this. So Alan says, I like the kick, bass and lead. Love the sample. The build at the end of the break was nice. Maybe we'd benefit from more of a build immediately before the breakdown, though, to signal that the breakdown is coming. I didn't hear a riser or anything. Yeah. Sometimes that can just be, the bells and whistles can just end up like nicely tying stuff in a bit more and filling in those kind of proverbial, literal gaps. Yeah. Yeah, I think all of us can. It's a bit like when you first start out and you start putting too much reverb on stuff, and then you pull it back, and then you're like, "Am I not even putting enough on?" Or you don't put any on. It's kind of like one of those things that you have to go through as a producer. if you're going to put too many effects in or not enough. And to be fair, I find it quite laborious doing effects and putting them in. Like, it's something that I do it when I'm not feeling like I want to do music, but I don't want to try and be too creative, or I don't want to mess up what I've already done. But I still want to feel like I've achieved something in my life that day. I'll do yeah, exactly. That's when it's like it's just something that has to be done, isn't it? But you know what? Sometimes it can help you to tie in everything. The other reason why I don't like to put all my effects in is because then I'm stuck to the arrangement. I work better when I've got like in more of a loop. Like I have a loop going, and then arranging stuff like is like. And then if I have to move around the effects and stuff that I've already put there, then I'm like, it just annoys me. So yeah, it's sometimes like something that will be one of the last things to put in there. But there you go. Jamie says, I met some mint people there. Oh, was it your first one, Jamie? Because I know a lot of people went to Tidyland Weekender and it was their very first one. I'm so happy that you had such a good time. And again, thank you very, very much for playing Kiss and Tell. I remember someone playing Kiss and Tell recently, because it doesn't happen a lot. Like, because my music's quite old now, but obviously a few people are playing some of them because people have bought the producer's USB. And I do remember being in a situation, but I can't remember where it was or if it was in person. But if that was you, thank you. Big Slim 77. I use effects mixing, and sometimes when I do, it's wow, and I forget what I've done. Yeah. It might have been Voodoo. Cool. Well, thank you. Thank you. That makes more sense to me if it's Voodoo. There you go. See, your memory is just as bad as mine. Yay! And yeah, Mike Formers, thank you very much for your kind words on my producer mix as well. I appreciate that. I had no USB. I told him to get me a USB out the staff shop. Nice one. Hi, Fat Man. How you doing? Gaz says, I'll try and get some effects, especially in that build. Yeah, maybe in that build. I mean, I don't even have to listen to it back. I can see from the waveform that what Alan's saying there is possibly something to work on, because it is quite bare on those areas, just to tie it all in. But what a great only bit of feedback to have, just to add some effects. As soon as you turn up, my skin starts to burn up. I burn up, I burn up. As soon as you turn up. Have I played my techno track yet? I have played it on here before, yeah. Oh no, you mean the new one? Yes, I have. I played it a few weeks ago. The new one. Yeah, I played it a few weeks ago. I'll just send it you, Fat Man, because I did play it, but it was quite a while back now. Okay, next up we've got, and I'm going to mess up your name here because I've been doing it all evening. Cubico. My memory's terrible, Mike. Like, it's not even funny anymore. But I try not to tell myself or say it too much out loud, because the more that you say that you've got a bad memory, the more you're going to compound that suggestion to be real. So I'm just going to say, sometimes I remember things, and sometimes I don't. Inspiring profound quotes by Amber D. Okay, so this is Cubico. So it's Q, not Coo. You were trying to make out it was Coo. But I think that's because you're from Ireland, so you probably say it slightly different because of your accent. Cubico. Trying to overcome. So here we go. So yeah, that was just like a sample of it that I've been sent over by Cubico. And that's called Trying to Overcome. So as I've written there, in your breakdown and then leading into your drop, there was a significant jump in volume with your lead synth. So that just needs a bit of fine tuning. It could be if you've like rendered something down and then like added it back in, something like that, or cloned it for whatever reason. I know some people like to automate the volume down when it comes to the breakdown, because then when it comes in with the drop, it sounds like it's got more energy because our brains have got used to the lowering of the volume. Maybe Drew Clute. But yeah, I'd say just go back in and just change that volume, because you have a lot of headroom in your breakdown. So don't make the louder bit quieter, because it's still nowhere near like peaking or clipping. I'd say don't have your breakdown so quiet. There you go. Kelly agrees. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that's stuck out. Sometimes it's important for us to not put too much like judgment on things that are just tiny things. Like if it sticks out like that, sometimes you don't hear it yourself, because when we're listening to our own stuff, We could be listening out for something else. We could be listening for the percussion, or we've heard it so many times that we've kind of got used to and desensitized to things like that. You like the criticism. Oh my God. You bad boy. I fucking hate it. I hate criticism. I hate feedback, even when I've asked for it. I find it really difficult. So this is why I think you lot are just amazing. And oh my God, because I would fucking hate it. And I do. I've got better at it. I've got I've got so good at knowing that I don't like criticism and feedback when it comes to my music, that one, I've got really good at being articulate and diplomatic in the way that I say feedback, and knowing and being aware that you don't like feedback, being a very self-aware person, means that even if, it doesn't matter what subject it's on, anything that I could possibly be wrong on, someone picks me up on it, maybe in the moment I will not be happy about it, or grumpy, or ignore it, or go, whoa, whoa, whoa. But I do have the intelligence to go away and think about it. I do this quite often. God help poor guy. Maybe a few years ago, but we have a very kerfuffle-free relationship now. Like, it's okay to feel like that. It's how you deal with it. So even though I'll always be very defensive, or not defensive anymore, even though I'm aware that I don't like negative feedback for my music or in general, I'm okay. I'm at peace with having it, because I don't want to be in a positive feedback loop. That's not helpful. I know, because I've gone through the cycle enough times to recognize that I've learned so much from allowing people to tell me when I'm wrong. So much. Like, you need people to disagree with you in life, because without that, you don't even know what you think. And you don't even know what you like, unless you allow other people to be around you who think differently. It's really important. Constructive feedback is absolutely invaluable. That's why this show is great. First, you're not ever sent into demo drop. Amber mentioned using reverse reverb on leads. Previously, I'd only used them on vocals, and now I use them on nearly every track. Imagine if Amber hadn't mentioned it, all of my tracks would be that bit worse. Oh, babe. Thank you. Again, this is why this show is important, because when it's just you, especially when you're very new to music production, you can't think of all of the other variables, and you don't hear music the way that another person's going to hear it, because you're judging it in a very different way. It could be precious to you, or you could be the absolute opposite of that and think that it's shit, and someone else be like, no, this is amazing, because you've overthought it. And that's why community in this way is really important. And there's one thing that I'll always uphold in the chat, and that is that no one is rude, disrespectful, or overly egotistical. And you do get a lot of that in the music industry and in music production. But it's because of feeling vulnerable. And one thing I've noticed is the stronger that you are in your sense of who you are as an artist and as a person, the easier it is for you to drop the ego and just listen. Just allow yourself to learn something. And that's what I find. Hi, Afart. That's what I find is I might not like it, to know that I didn't do something right or I was wrong about something. But my God, I am more than happy to correct myself and feel relieved really sometimes that, you know, I'm able to do that. I think some people are still very, very early on in that journey. But, you know, otherwise you'll just end up, no one will want to play games with you. You know, no one will want to be your friend if you can't listen with, you know, with clarity, not just wait for the noise to stop and then say what you reckon again. Hi, DJ Metals. I hope I've said that right. But yeah, this demo drop, even though it's seemingly me just sitting here and listening to tunes and saying what I think and then you guys saying what you think, I learned so much from you lot. I really do. I've learned so much about me as a person and me as an artist and you guys as well. So yeah. Yay! Yay! Yeah, you are, Red Misty, definitely. But yeah, it's difficult to take criticism, but it's really helpful. Next up, we have got DJ Spyroof, Time to Go, and it is the Ferg 94 remix. It doesn't take balls to send a tune in to me. I'm probably the best person, if you've never sent a tune in anywhere, to send it to, because like I say, I run a tight ship here. No one is shitty towards anyone, because they will get, depending on how annoyed I am and how I'm feeling that day, if I'm already a little bit pissy, you'll just get banned. Oh my God, that's a really good point. Cubico Music. It is sometimes worth taking compliments. What the fuck? Oh my God, humans are just so weird. So weird.
I'm wide awake on this Saturday morning. You're looking up while looking down. Could this be the day now? Time is running out, but what can we do? Powerful dreams become reality. Day after day, and night after night, it's time to go. To go.
Yeah, it was all right. Wasn't that exciting? I'm joking. Razzmatazz. That's a name that I have. That's a word I haven't heard for a long time. I really, really like this one. Ferg, take a bow. Oh my God, I've just noticed as well, it's a free download. Let me give you the, I've given you his SoundCloud, but I'll give you the actual link so you can play this in your sets as well. There you go. Go and grab it yourself. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm going to download that right now. Promos 2022. There we go. Save that. Yeah, go and grab it. That's a brilliant tune. Loved it. So happy. Everything you want from hardcore, isn't it? Yes! Zoixy, thank you very much for following. I had quite a few follows today. Who's going to sample the burps? I have a few. I might do a burp sample pack at some point. I have names for them as well. I have the Muted Yak. Muted Yak's probably my favourite. But yeah, I can do a sample pack. It's not a problem. I can multi-sample my burps. So that you could use them in a rompler such as Nexus. There you go. That'd be amazing. I bet you'd love that. Mind you, a pitched up burp might sound a bit more energetic, you know. Who knows? We could also do like one where I do some like deep house burps where I just take all the formant out. And pitch it down. Time stretched burps for the baseline producers. Hi C James. Reburp. Oh, Alan, really good point. Really good point there. Yeah, always make sure if you're putting things up for free download, sending stuff to me, sending stuff to a record label, putting anything out there in terms of the file naming, make sure the metadata is in there. You can do that if you save it through Audacity. Make sure it's normalized. Make sure the metadata is on there, and please make sure that you have put your artist name and the title of the track in the file name. Really important. Distorted burp. Oh, you can do my distorted burps, Drew Clute. Oh. Burps of saturation. 101 ways to use a burp. Thank you. I feel, do you know what? Maybe this could be my USP. You know? Maybe that will help me get through my creative block just by burping. Just use more burps in my music. Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you for helping me along my musical journey. Yay. Okay, next up we've got Mark Ross, and this is Feel Closer. So there we go. That is Mark Ross and Feel Closer. Very, very different to Mark's European hard trance, more harder edged tracks that I'm used to hearing. But again, as I'm sure a lot of the regulars on here know, that Mark does many different genres, and this is the more uplifting side of trance, and I loved it. This is definitely something that I would play in my trance sets. So well put together. The arrangement's perfect. Love the vocal. It's interesting as well because, for example, someone like Guy, for example, when one of the things that Guy struggled with, especially in the early days, was he wanted to make trance, but he wasn't good enough at making trance. So he made trance he made hard house that was trancey, and then that's how he came to having his style of, you know, of the European hard trancey kind of style of music, because he found that that was easier for him to do in the first instance than the trance he was making. Trance is really difficult to get right. It really, really, really is. You know, it's lots of layers, lots of thinking about your automation, and very intricate detailing of how things sound, and then of course the music theory aspect that comes into it. It's definitely something that is and will take a lot more time. So to see Mark going from doing the hard trance stuff and evolving now into uplifting trance kind of makes a lot of sense, and it's good to see because it shows that he's not just sitting there on his laurels thinking, I can make hard trance now. It's getting signed to the right labels. Cool. And coasting along. The beauty of being a producer, being an artist, is the constant ability and sometimes need to improve oneself. And by trying out different genres, harder genres, it can be very scary, deflating if you didn't get it right, but you're used to getting it right in another genre of music. And I am really impressed by this being the first uplifting trance track that I've heard of Mark, and it being that good. So yeah, well done, Mark. Keep them coming. I can't believe just like how many tracks Mark does. And, you know, he works a lot as well. He works really, really hard. And he always checks in here when he can, when he's able to. And then he's just able to like knock out tracks like that. Like, wow. So yeah, if you guys can go and give him a follow, please. Do you know what the crazy thing is? And I hope that Mark doesn't mind me saying this. A few months ago, Mark sent me an email and he said that he didn't want me to play any more of his music and he was going to give it up. He was having a bit of a crisis of confidence. And I think that many of the best producers and many of us who are really passionate about what we do have moments like that. And I didn't take it seriously, what he was saying, but I told him that I would respect his wishes and I wouldn't play anything else of his on the show, kind of knowing in the back of my head that this wouldn't be forever. And then he came back with something else and he was fine again. But sometimes, you know, if you're going through those kinds of crisis of confidence and you're feeling like you want to give up, don't give up, because if you give up, then you'll never know what's on the other side of that. It's natural to have that feeling, but push through it. Push through it. The more resistance as well that you feel to doing something, especially something creative, because you're scared of it, the more potential there is for greatness on the other side of that. So it's really important to check in with yourself and how you're feeling about stuff. And if you're feeling scared, if you're feeling hesitant, but you really want to do it, then you will find a way to push through that eventually. Because the alternative is to live feeling regretful that you never tried. And that's worse. That's worse than being laughed at. That's worse than getting it wrong. Yeah, I think it's maybe not necessarily a new direction, but another direction. Was that a band? One Direction. That was no, another direction. Wrong Direction. Not One Direction. It should have been called Wrong Direction. It's another direction, isn't it? And the change is as good as a rest, as we say. Sometimes that can be helpful as well, to try something different, make a different genre of music. Go and listen to some jazz. Go and listen to some rock. Go and listen to something that you wouldn't normally listen to. That's always helpful. But yeah, there we go. That is the end of another demo drop. I appreciate you. And I don't know where we're going yet. Let me just go and have a look over here. Who could do with us popping in? Who's on? There's loads of people on tonight. My God. Where are we going? Big Sean Bez is on. Oh, yay. Okay, guys, stay where you are. We're going to go and see Big Sean Bez. I'm here tomorrow. Tomorrow's usually my day off, but I've got a charity stream to do tomorrow. Please remember that we're going to be off the mature adults thingy, so don't swear. Or if you do, just be really, really, just only swear a tiny bit, okay? Because there's a possibility that we'll be on the main page of Twitch for this charity event. I can't remember what time I'm playing. I'll let you know in the Discord though. And yeah, I love you all loads, and I will see you tomorrow. Mwah. Love you.